What's good, YouTube? Hitman X. I've been wanting to do this video yesterday, but I was, a little busy. So I'm gonna do this today. I try to give it a little time, give me some time to think about it. So, as we all know, the trade deadline is over, and a lot of teams made some big moves, So I want to, give my assessment on who I believe won the trades and who lost. So, the biggest winner of the trade deadline, in my opinion, is the Los Angeles Clippers. And I know a lot of people gonna disagree with this, but just hear me out. So you trade an expiring contract in Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, who I like, and Mike Scott, who's a decent to average player, for I forget who they got. Who did they get? It doesn't matter. The main reason why I feel like they won this trade is because they got that 2021 draft pick from Miami. That pick right there alone made them players for the future. Now, we're talking about, like, right now, of course they lost the trade right now. But at the same time, they were barely in the playoffs, So why not make a move now? Like, that was such a genius move. A lot of people sleep on that move, but 2 years down the line, they're going to be like, damn, the Celtics actually robbed the Sixers, like the Sixers always do. They always get robbed. But not the Celtics. I meant to say the Clippers. The Clippers robbed the Sixers on that trade. And I don't care how anybody slice it or cut it. You get that 2021 pick. As we already see, Miami is making moves to pretty much tank. It looks like they're tanking at this point. So 2021, I can see that pick being a lottery pick. Anytime you trade an expiring contract for a lottery pick, you're winning. So I like what the Clippers did with that move. I actually like that move. So that's I give them a salute for that. Even though they're in our conference, they're the enemy. I give them a salute for that. The next winner, you got to go with the Dallas Mavericks, man. You get Porzingis. You add Porzingis with Luka Doncic. I got to give you that. I got to give you that. I don't, I got to swallow that pill. I got to swallow my pride on this one. That's going to be a dangerous team for years to come. If Porzingis is healthy, because we got to keep in mind, Porzingis is coming off that ACL injury. That's a spooky injury. We don't know how he's going to look. But if he comes back looking 80% like he did not last year, but the year before. Well, yeah, last year. He did get hurt last year. If he comes back looking 80%, that's still Porzingis, a 7'3" power forward. Come on now. That's Porzingis, man. That's the unicorn. So, yeah, man, I like how that trade, panned out. I disagree with them having to trade Dennis Smith, but at the same time, you have Luka Doncic. You got to pick your poison. So, of course they was going to trade Dennis Smith, Luka Doncic, long term, is a better solution. I will say that much. He's a better solution. He's a better pick than Dennis Smith. I just wish they would have treated that better, a little bit better, man. I wish they would treat their players a little bit better when they trade them. But yeah, I throw Dallas in there, man. I give them their props. They get a salute. The next winner is the team that they actually traded with, which is the New York Knicks. You get Dennis Smith Jr., DeAndre Jordan, and 2 first-round picks for Porzingis, and Tim Hardaway, who had one of the worst contracts in the NBA. I ain't gonna say one of the worst because there's been a lot of bad contracts, but it's not too much of a good contract for all that young talent, man. Hey, salute to the New York Knicks for positioning themselves to have 2 max contracts next year. On top of their own pick, they have their own pick, which could cover it to the top 3, if not the number 1 overall pick. The New York Knicks are making moves for the future, and I like where they're going. Now, this is all dependent on if they make a trade for Anthony Davis or if they just build their young pieces up, which I feel like they should do. If they build their young pieces up, I say 5 years down the line, they'll be a legit contender in the playoffs. They'll be a legit contender. They have all the pieces. They really shouldn't have to trade for Anthony Davis. If I'm the New York Knicks, I'm holding on to my picks. I'm holding on to all my assets, and I'm playing the free agency. I'm seeing what I can do in the free agency. If I can sign at least one superstar. At least one superstar. Let's see if I can sign a Kyrie Irving or a Kevin Durant. If I could do that, I'm not trading for Anthony Davis. Because you already have Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr. I'm not sure if DeAndre Jordan is on a 1-year contract or not, but you can re-sign him. That's a solid team. It's not, it's not the Bucks or the Raptors, but that's a solid team, man. That's a solid team. You can build your young assets. You have Zion Williamson potentially. That's a solid team. That's a solid team. I would like to see what that team could do. So yeah, that's one of my winners. Another winner, the Phoenix Suns, man. Yeah, I knew I was gonna throw the Phoenix Suns in. The Phoenix Suns, they traded the worst contract next to Chandler Parsons and Ryan Anderson for a bad contract, but I wouldn't call it the worst, in Tyler Johnson and Wayne Ellington, who I heard they was gonna cut. I like that trade. As a Phoenix Suns fan, I like that trade. I know a lot of Suns fans hate that trade. They think, oh, well, we needed a point guard. Y'all got this guy, but you had to think about it. Ryan Anderson wasn't doing shit for us. He averaged, 3 points, 3 rebounds? He barely got any time. He barely came off the bench. And when he did, he was a liability, which is hence why he was on the bench. We needed to make a move, and I could not stress enough how I love this move. I like Tyler Johnson's game. I mean, I know he's had a bad season this year, but I like his game. He's a gritty, tough type player. He's one of those type players we need in Phoenix. And I feel like he's going to have like a resurgence, kind of like how Kelly Oubre did. Kelly Oubre came to Phoenix and really proved all the doubters wrong. I like that trade for the Phoenix Suns. Now, my whole thing is, what do we do in this draft? Because I was under the impression that we could get Ja Morant. I felt like Ja Morant was pretty much destined to come to Phoenix. Could he still come to Phoenix? Maybe, But now that we have Tyler Johnson, I don't feel like that's a long-term solution. So we should still pick Ja Morant. But if not Ja Morant, we have a plethora of options in the top 5. And I wouldn't mind having anybody. I wouldn't mind having Zion on the team. I wouldn't mind having RJ Barrett on the team. Matter of fact, I feel like RJ Barrett is a better fit at the point guard than Tyler Johnson. Definitely he's a better fit than Tyler Johnson. So, yeah, man. Phoenix Suns, man, the future is still bright. Hopefully, they don't have a good enough season to where they fall out of the top 5, because I feel like the Phoenix Suns, man, are making moves to slowly get better at the wrong time. We could have made this trade in the offseason, some shit like that. If we it feels really like that. We could have or earlier in the season, when we had a chance. Now we don't have a chance. We might as well just tank. What's the point? Could have kept Ryan Anderson, could have held on to that and just been shitty, Why make trades to make us better? But yeah, man, shout out to the Phoenix Suns. I know a lot of people have been sleeping on this trade, but y'all are winners in my eyes. Now, on to the losers, man. And like I said, y'all gonna disagree with this, but the Philadelphia 76ers lost this trade, in my opinion. Only if they don't win a championship this year, which is hence or get to the finals, which is why you make trades. You make trades like this, you make blockbuster trades like that to position yourself to win championships. If they don't win a championship this year, they lost. If they don't re-sign Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris, they lost every trade they made, because you pretty much decimated your whole roster for this year. You gutted your whole roster. You traded Robert Covington, Dario Saric, Markelle Fultz, Wilson Chandler, all these solid players to position yourself in where you at now. You don't win now it's championship or bust. So if you don't win the championship, you lost. You completely failed. You traded away that 2021 draft pick for a player who's an unrestricted free agent this summer. Come on now. It's all or nothing for y'all. If y'all get put out in the second round, y'all completely failed. And I'm gonna be right here trolling y'all, because I cannot believe the Philadelphia 76ers continue to allow that stuff to get hoodwinked. You figure they would have learned their lesson when they traded Mikal Bridges. You figure they would have learned their lessons from that, but yet they still make Foolish trades. So yeah, y'all are losing my eyes. The next loser, and I don't really know how. I kind of feel like they're a wild card, but the Pelicans are losing in my eyes. You traded away a solid player in Nikola Mirotic. Well, however the hell you pronounce that dude's name. But at the same time, they were barely in the playoffs, or they were like barely around 500. So I can't really get mad at that trade. But you traded away Mirotic for Stanley Johnson, pretty much. Like, I don't know how I could feel about that trade. You feel me? Stanley Johnson has been one of the biggest busts out of that draft that he was drafted in for the longest, you know? Just a below average type player, you know? When he got drafted, we thought, okay, he'll be a two-way player. And he'll probably form into, you know, an all-star. That has not happened. We're tired of seeing the Pelicans, you know, hang around in limbo. Now I understand why Anthony Davis wants to get traded, because the Pelicans aren't making smart moves. You feel me? They're not making smart moves. They should have just went on and traded Anthony Davis, which is another reason why I feel like they're a loser. Because now, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna play Anthony Davis under the circumstances, or are you gonna lose? You know, like, are you gonna lose on purpose? Because without Anthony Davis, y'all have no chance in the world to get to the playoffs. So y'all are losing in my eyes, man. The next loser. Let me think, man. I gotta think about this one, man. Cause I wanted to put the Lakers, but they're the top losers. So I gotta wait. I'm gonna let that formulate. The next loser in my eyes is the Boston Celtics, primarily because y'all made no moves. They made absolutely zero moves. This trade deadline, they made zero moves. Y'all are losing just off the strength for that. Another loser is the Toronto Raptors, and this might surprise y'all, but I feel like the Toronto Raptors lost only if, like it's a lot of ifs, it's a lot of speculations, but only if y'all don't win the championship or y'all don't get to the finals, because this is all dependent on if Kawhi Leonard re-signs with y'all, which, you know, we don't know yet. We don't know if he's going to re-sign, but even if he does, you traded away a solid a big man in Jonas Valanciunas for Marc Gasol, who's what, 33, 34 years old? Well past his prime. Having one of, you know, his lowest career averages in his career. You know, he's not having one of his better years. He's obviously on a decline. Now, I understand you want to add veteran savvy, but at the same time, if it's not broke, don't fix it. What was the point of trading Jonas Valanciunas for somebody who's basically not even better than him? You know, I know on paper it looks like, oh, Marc Gasol but you got to keep in mind, Marc Gasol is over 30 years old, you know? Like, this trade right here is spooky, man. This trade right here is spooky. I don't know how to feel about that one. And my last loser, as I already spoke earlier, is the Los Angeles Lakers. Because y'all didn't get Anthony Davis. Yes, I'm trolling y'all. Yes, I'm trolling the Lakers. Y'all didn't get Anthony Davis. I know y'all felt like y'all was gonna get him. Y'all still, you know, stuck in limbo, barely fighting for an AC. Now, I give y'all props. Y'all won last night. I give y'all props. Y'all won last night. I give y'all that. But y'all still out of the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken. And if y'all get to the playoffs as an AFC, y'all got to play the Golden State Warriors. Who, matter of fact, that's another video. But I feel like the Lakers are the best matchup on paper. Not on paper, but like just from what I've seen this season. That's going to be an interesting series, man. It's going to be an interesting series. This is definitely going to go at least 6 games, in my opinion. I feel like the Lakers are built to beat only the Warriors. You know what I mean? If they come with their A game, they have a chance to knock them out and upset them in the first round. I said it first. I feel like the Lakers can upset the Warriors this year. Now, will they win the championship this year? Absolutely not. Hell no. You won't hear me say that. But could they knock off the Warriors? Probably. They probably can knock the Warriors off. But as far as that, the trade deadline, they whooped on it. Y'all should have bid on that trade. When they said 4 first-round picks and all those players, y'all should have just went on and traded them. You feel me? Because you have no guarantee that Anthony Davis gonna resign there. Like, you figure they would have learned their lesson from that Paul George situation, from Kawhi Leonard. The list goes on. DeMarcus Cousins. You feel me? You figure they would have learned their lesson, but they just continuously think, okay, well, we gonna get all the free agents next year in the summer because we got all this money and no other team has money to give players. This is LA, baby. Like it's no other team in LA though. Come on now. Use your brains. Use your brains. You have to make smarter decisions, Lakers. Y'all can't go off of the luster, the mystique of the Lakers purple and gold. That doesn't work anymore. Because you wanna know why? Y'all have LeBron James. Y'all have LeBron James now. This guy that everybody say, oh, well, everybody want to play with LeBron James, but Kyrie Irving demanded a trade from him. I'm just saying. Hitman X, stating facts. Make sure y'all hit that like, hit that.